Are we ready? Can everybody hear me all right? Can everybody hear me? This is the big one, boys. This is the big one. Let some people get in here real quick. We got the notepad out. This is Postman's vengeance. I've been prepping all day, okay? We have been prepping all day for this, okay? Oh my gosh, we already have 124 people in like 5 seconds. Goodness gracious, you guys are some animals. Yo, Postman, what do you think about Poland? Heckin' based. Heckin' based. Hey, let's get some puffer fishes in chat. Let's get some puffer fishes in chat. Wait for AIE to request. Holy shit. Use code post at the right. That's based. Based. Pufferfish is in chat. Pufferfish is in chat. Why is anybody requesting as if I'm going to let you up? Okay, we're at 216 people. Where is AIE? He is not requesting. Okay, we'll wait on him to request. So we've had a little bit of a run-in. AIE wants to change the official prompt, but I'm okay. I'm okay. You know, had to change up some of my sources last minute. Talk about cognitive ability a little bit more. Its correlation with crime. You know, that's just what we're gonna be doing and shit, man. We got our sources this time, so he can't source mog me. Well, it wasn't like he was source mogging me. Once AIE gets up here, we're going to let in the moderator that AIE picked, by the way. AIE picked this moderator. There's no bias on my part. I let him pick the moderator, so we'll see. Can we stop saying I was digging in my shit for a second, please, guys? Can we stop saying I was digging in my shit on Twitter? That never happened. Post get Santa. The Dean debate will have to be a long time away. Okay, Postman, I'm sending myself into like a little prison jail cell until I understand meta ethics. This is not a can of soda. This is a can of energy. Okay, this is 300 milligrams of caffeine. W illegal immigration. Ah, hell nah. Ah, hell nah. Host, let's debate. Well, I'm not debating you today. Look at the title of the debate stream. Hey, we're waiting for you to come up. I want to make them big, too. I want to make them big. Yo, guys, if AIE is streaming right now, tell them we're doing it on my stream since you got to pick the moderator. We'll both get the same amount of money either way if people gift us. If AI is on stream right now, go tell him we're debating in mine. All of these made up videos on on me. Goodness gracious. AIE, where is he? Where is he? Nobody. No AIE yet. Just waiting. Just here waiting. Have you seen the AI edits, bro? Yeah. This is a man-made debate, yes. What is a meta ethic? I forget. 1 second. Let me change the guest format. We're just waiting on AIE. Let me invite him real quick. Okay, the invitation is sent to AIE. AIE is calling Dean. No! I did not concede the race argument. I conceded that I don't think there's some sort of special gene that makes African Americans commit more crime. That has never been my position. It's never, ever been my position. I've never said... He said he's not debating me? What? He said he's not debating me? He doesn't want to debate me? Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me right now? Why are we freaking? I've been prepping for this debate for a week. Why would I not be upset that he's dodging right now? What position does he want me to take? Like, genuinely, what position does he want me to take? I'll take any position he wants me to, besides the fact that there's some special gene that makes black people commit crime. Any position. I'll take any position. Tell him that I will take any position. I don't care. I'll take any position. Literally anyone. Literally any position I'll take. I don't care. Just have him join up. I'll take any. I don't care. I'll take any position if it gets a debate. I don't care. If he wants me to take the position that 75% of the black-white crime gap is explained by cognitive factors, I will. For the sake of this debate, I will do that. And that's going to be a way harder position than his position that socioeconomic factors account for the gap, which is what we originally agreed to. If anybody has any, genuinely, if anybody has any respect for AIE after that, you're messed up. You're genuinely just not an intellectual person. If anybody has any respect for him after this, he's okay with the debate up until 1 hour before the debate, and then he tries to get me to change the prompt. I did not change the prompt. My prompt was never that there's a single gene that makes black people commit more crime, because that violates the fourth law of behavioral genetics. No geneticist on the world that studies this would say one gene makes up for it. It's a culmination of several different, more than dozens and dozens of different genes that make up and interact. For example, if I say oh, there is a genetic inheritability to height, you're not going to ask me, oh, what's the one height gene? There's several different genes that affect height. Okay, AIE, you're in this chat. Come up here and tell me what position you want me to take. Tell me what position you want me to take, and I'll take it. You just typed in chat. Tell me what position you want me to take, and if I agree to it, and if you can get me to agree to it on stream, I will take it. If anybody still has respect for AIE, when he drops out of the debate last minute, when he did this last time. Oh, is he coming up? Okay, AIE. What position do you want me to take? What position do you want me to take, AIE?
Wait.
What position do you want me to take?
Hold on. I'm going to say this first. Right?
What?
So, when we originally had our debate.
What position do you want me to take?
Well, no, because.
Tell me what position you want me to take, and I will take it.
See, like I'm trying to tell you, but you got to relax, bro. Calm down. Your cortisol is way too high right now, bro. I know you dodged.
I'm literally not following
anything. All right, but look. Anyway, all right, look. Postman, you're a good kid, bro. You're a good kid. Really love you dearly, bro. You're a good kid. But you said that you weren't going to debate me on a racial topic. That was your words. So why would I debate you now on a racial topic?
So in our DMs, you said that crime can be caused on an individual level by IQ, correct? Did you say that?
I said that's a universally agreed upon fact.
Did you say that, AIE?
That's a universal.
Now, what is a group made up of, AIE?
Wait, hold on.
What is a group made up of?
Relax, bro.
What is a group made up of, AIE? What is a group made up of? Just answer the question.
Yo, and I'm not gonna argue.
What is a group made up of?
I'm not gonna debate you if you're gonna act.
What is a group made up of?
We were supposed to have a structured debate. This is not how I'm not about to debate you, bro. You're gonna have to.
What is a group made up of?
Wait, what is your premise?
AIE.
What is your premise?
My premise is that socioeconomic factors do not entirely account for the black-white crime gap.
How much do you think it does account for? How much?
Do you want me to give exact percentages?
No,
do you want me to say
just
60, 40, 30, 70? Like, what are we talking about?
Do you think it's majority? You could easily say yes or no to. Do you think it's majority?
Do I think the majority of the issue is socioeconomic factors or not?
Yes.
No, I do not think the majority of the issue is socioeconomic factors.
So what is the majority of the issue? That's what I'm asking.
It could be a ton of different environments. It could be a ton of different factors.
You can tell me your
point. Your position is that socioeconomic is your position that socioeconomic factors make up the majority of the black-white crime gap disparity. That is the purpose. Is that your position?
No. So Postman, can you tell me the argument?
I just told you.
Tell me your argument. Tell me your argument, Postman. I'm just asking for your argument.
My argument is that the majority of the black-white crime gap, what does
it mean from?
The black-white crime gap is not majority explained by socioeconomic factors. That is my position.
So and there are a ton of different factors that would explain it. You're not. Look, I'll explain how you're not making a positive claim. Because you're just in the defense of it not being socioeconomic factors, but you're not making a positive claim on what it is.
What is your claim, AIE? What is your
my claim? That it is mostly socioeconomic factors.
So my claim is the opposite of that.
So my
claim is that the entirety of the black-white gap is not explained by socioeconomic factors. That is my position.
So then you would still have to make the claim of what it is. You can't just say I don't know. That's not an argument.
You are making the positive claim that socioeconomic factors make up the majority of the reason, the overwhelming majority of the reason why the black-white crime disparity exists. Is that your position?
It is.
So my position is that socioeconomic factors do not entirely explain it.
So we don't disagree. He said entirely explain it. I didn't say entirely either. So
okay, what percentage do you think?
Now you're asking me for the percent. Now you're asking me for the percent when you just told me you couldn't give me the percent.
I'm just asking you to give me a percent so I can argue against this. Does it? We'll just say, does it explain the majority of the reason why?
No, guys, percentage. We got to lock in on percentage, guys.
Does it explain the majority? Can you just answer that?
Once you give me
can you just answer if socioeconomic factors make up the majority?
He thought it is, so he's still not answering my question.
Can you just make up take the positive claim? Can you just take the? I will take the negative claim for the sake of argument. I will take the negative claim that cognitive factors make up the majority of the black-white crime disparity gap. I will take that claim.
What's your proof?
What's my proof?
Yeah.
You want to have a debate? Okay. Perfect. So we're having a debate now. We're having a
No,
debate.
I just asked for your proof. I'm just grounding your worldview. I'm not debating him. The same thing he did with me in the first live. Concede to everything. I don't have a point. I'm just trying to get your point. I'm grounding your worldview, so I don't have a point right now.
So
we're not
whenever we account for socioeconomic status, black people are still more likely to be incarcerated. Is that true or false?
I think it is false. Wait. Are you saying more than white people? Are you saying more than white people? And you said when we're
no matter socioeconomic status, black people are overrepresented in homicide statistics. Is that true or false?
Oh yes. Okay. Now, actually, let me ask you a question. On homicide statistics or violent crime in general, per capita, black people have a 2 times chance more likely to be arrested for a violent crime they did not commit compared to whites. It is 252 out of every 100,000 for blacks, and it is only 52 out of every 100,000 for whites. And before you say anything about exonerations, they beat their case, meaning that by law they were unlawfully arrested and beat their case.
Okay, so do you believe AIE? Do you believe in victimization stats?
Well, I believe in per capita, and that's per capita.
Do you believe in victimization stats?
Define what you mean by that.
So the percentage of victims that are black of violent crime, do you believe that it's higher or lower?
Do I believe it's higher of the victims, the percentage of black victims?
Yes.
I believe whatever.
Do you think black people are more likely to be victims of violent crime?
Of violent crime. I mean, I guess if it's true.
Yes. Just say yes.
Well, it still doesn't make a genetic race argument. You're still not making a race.
What are you positing my argument is?
Well, so you're not making a racial argument, are you?
I am saying, do you believe that black people?
No. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Are you making a racial argument?
I am saying that cognitive capabilities, whenever you average them out, black people have lower IQs. Do you agree with that?
No, that's not even the argument. That's not even the argument.
What is the average IQ of African Americans?
Wait. So if you ask me to debate no.
AIE, what is the average?
That has nothing to do with proving
what is the average IQ of African Americans?
So now you're not even on track with socioeconomic factors. You're not on track with socioeconomic factors and crime rate. You're not relating any of this to crime rate. You're just going off of the assumption.
To get to it.
No, they don't.
What do you think? AIE, what do you think is
causation?
AIE, what do you think? Are you really telling me that?
What study specifically says that black people are arrested at a higher rate because of cognitive abilities rather than socioeconomic factors? Please show me.
So do you want a study that talks about cognitive? Do you want a study that talks about cognitive capabilities on average of arrested persons?
So do you want that study? Or is this on individual basis? You're about to use that doesn't work. That doesn't work for a genetic trait. That doesn't work for a genetic trait because that is shown on an individual basis. You have to make the argument that this group possesses it. Okay. What is your genetic or your proof that this group possesses this genetic trait?
Black people, on average, have an IQ of 85.
That's not proof. That's not proof that
I'm establishing my position. Well, black people, on average, have an IQ of 85. Now, what do you think is a better predictor for criminality, IQ or socioeconomic status? Which one is a better predictor?
For criminality, socioeconomic status.
That's just wrong. Well, what you just said was just wrong. So you can prove it. So you want to tell me that socioeconomic status is a better predictor for criminality? Do you want to hold yourself? Do you want to hold yourself to that position? Okay. Do you believe a study with? Okay. Do you believe in a study with 800,000 with a sample size of 700,514?
No, I actually believe the agreed upon consensus by the
Do you believe in a study with a sample size?
Socioeconomic factors has a bigger role when it comes to anything, especially race. Because if you look at ethnic
AIE, I am giving you a study, if you let me talk, that proves my point.
No, well, let me just say something really quick. Just because you give me a study, hold on.
It is a scientific consensus that cognitive ability is a better predictor for future criminality than socioeconomic status.
On individual level, not on a crime base. I mean, not on a race basis. So let me ask you a question, right?
On an individual level. So
let me ask you a question.
Real study that had a sample size of 700,000. They checked men's IQ scores from age 18 and later got convicted of a violent crime.
I'm going to leave. He's not letting me talk on the debate. Like, this is disingenuous. I'm going to leave.
Just talk.
So let me say this, right? Number one, what I asked you before. The studies you're showing has nothing to do with a racial basis, because the idea that using a racial basis to then talk about IQ to then promote it to the fact of crime is three loopholes you have to jump through, and let me explain why. Because number one, just because even on average there is a lower IQ does not mean that these black people are inherently even holding the IQ or the low cognitive ability that makes them commit crime. You just, and even in your messages, you said you can't prove that there's anything genetically pushing crime in the black community. So
Calm
this
down.
is why I say
Calm down.
causation.
I'll calm down. I'll calm down. Can I?
No,
Can
no,
I
no.
give you? Can I give you a rebuttal?
Let me just finish.
Can I
Let
give
me
you a
just finish.
rebuttal?
Wait, literally, I want to just finish my other part, and you can keep going. Okay, so if this was the case, do you think men are have lower IQ than women on average?
On average, yes. The average IQ for
No,
men is
well,
lower
that's
than
not
women.
proven, and that's actually false. So
Average,
actually, though, men commit
the
men,
average
men,
IQ of, are you telling
look,
me the average IQ of men is not lower than the average
you
IQ of
see,
women right now?
you see,
Are you really
you see,
telling
it's
me
actually
that?
false. It's not.
Are
It's
you
not.
are
It's
you
about.
telling are you
Wait,
telling me
wait.
that?
No, it's about
Because
the
you're wrong.
same. It's
Because you
about the
just
same.
lied.
It's about the same. But this
No,
is my argument,
there's about
though.
a 2 to 3 point
So wait,
differential.
this is my argument, though. It's
And
about the same. But if crime was inherently based off
no,
of cognitive ability,
you cannot say it's about the same
it
when it is
is
different.
though. Do to pure research, unless you can give me anything to debate that. So anyway, off of that ability alone, though, men commit crime at a 60 times rate higher than women. So you would just be saying, if you think that cognitive ability is more associated with crime, then according to you, by your own thinking, men are lower IQ individuals than women on average. That is just your own thinking.
And again, cognitive capability is not the only factor.
Oh, now he doesn't
let
want to
me
use it
explain.
anymore.
Let me explain. Let me
Now he
explain.
doesn't want to use it
So if we
anymore.
look at the bell curve of IQ of men and women
Oh.
IQ, so women have a higher average, and most women
No,
tend
it's
to
the
be
same.
within most women tend to be within that thing. But when we look at both extremes, men represent both extremes. So there are more low IQ men than there are more extremely low IQ men than there are extremely low
What's
IQ
the
women.
percentage? So what is the percentage of that?
There are more extremely intelligent men than there are extremely intelligent women.
Okay.
Women tend to congregate
So it's not a
around
big.
that bell
So it's
curve
not a
more
big
strictly.
difference, though. So it's not a big difference.
I am saying
Is there a
that
big
that is
difference?
true.
Again?
That is true.
Is there a big difference in IQ gap from men to women? Is what I'm asking you. Just answer the question, yes or no.
Is there a big difference? There is a bigger. Do you know how to read a bell curve, AIE?
No,
I'm just
that's
asking.
not what I'm asking.
Do you know how to read a bell curve?
That's not what I'm
just
asking.
asking if you know how to read a bell curve.
What I said is on the average, it doesn't matter because men have a 60% higher rate. So on average, if you think it's cognitive ability mainly, then 60%, then at least 60% of men.
So here is the men's versus women percentage of the population. Do you see how there's more men here and it levels out right here? So
Yes,
most women
that is not a
are from right
60%
here to right
differentiation.
here.
But that is not
Most
a 60%
women are from right here to right
difference in
there.
rate.
And there are more men on the extreme variation of low IQ and more males on the extreme higher variation of IQ.
It equals out.
Do you agree
So
with
it
that
equals
statement?
out.
Do you know how to
So
read a bell curve?
it wouldn't be 60%.
AIE, do you know how to read a bell curve?
Yes, okay. All right. So what I'm asking you is off of this bell curve, make this claim, yes or no. Are more men or is the IQ gap between men and women among a similar level, or is it a big disparity? That's all I'm asking you.
There is a big disparity in the extremes of the bell curve. Men have a lower average IQ.
I'm talking about average. I'm talking about, look, you're scared to answer this because you know it literally cooks your entire argument.
AIE.
It cooks your entire argument.
AIE, what is the average? What is the AIE? What is AIE?
Wait. And also, why would we not use race when it's a 60%
You're just fundamentally you are just fundamentally.
Why not use race? Why not use gender instead of race?
Misunderstanding how
is a
statistics
60%
work.
indicator rather than race, which is only a 30% indicator or less. Why would you not use gender?
Because gender is irrelevant for criminality.
Why? No, it's actually very relevant. It's actually very relevant. So, what percent of violent offenders are men? What percent of violent offenders are men?
The vast majority. I don't have the
Okay,
statistics.
so it's not relevant though. That's
Okay,
not relevant.
do you want to keep going down the men versus women crime disparity that we all agree on? Do you want to keep going down that? Is the
Bro,
red
I'm
arrow?
leaving, bro. You're literally like
No.
20 IQ.
We're having a
No,
debate about
you're
racial
you got
IQ, and you're talking about
backshotted
men
and
and
you
women
lost,
for
bro.
15 minutes, and you're
You got
fundamentally
backshotted and you
misunderstanding my
lost,
point.
bro. My
You
thing
are
is this,
fundamentally misunderstanding my point. You are fundamentally
no,
misunderstanding my
no,
point, and you are
no,
not making
no,
good
no.
arguments.
So
If you
my
leave,
thing is this.
if you
My thing
leave
is this.
AIE, if you leave, it's not going to look good for you. I can guarantee you that because
Okay.
we haven't even
All
gotten
right,
to
that's
meet
fine.
it
You've
yet.
already conceded it's not race, so I don't care if you, as long as you don't
When
think
did I
it's a
say I
racial
concede?
thing.
Okay, what is the average IQ
I
of
don't
Black
care. Wait,
Americans?
no.
AIE?
You conceded
What is
this
the
race,
average
so
IQ of
wait,
Black
even
Americans?
if you're
What is
saying
the
this
average?
point,
What is
even if
the
you're
average
saying whatever
IQ of
you're
Black
saying now,
Americans?
I don't even have to argue
What
this
is
because
the
I don't
average
really
IQ
care.
of Black Americans? It is
As long
85.
as long as
It
you
is
don't, as long as
85.
you know,
You
as
know,
long as you know,
you know, there is a
as long as you know.
significant. You want to talk about significant average differences? Do you know what the average IQ of white Americans is, AIE? Do you know?
I don't care.
You don't care? It's 100. Black Americans have an average IQ of 85. That is an entire standard deviation lower.
Okay.
Do you know how significant that is?
And men commit 60% more crime than women. And if your claim is that cognitive ability is the biggest factor for crime, then you're saying men have on average lower cognitive ability.
In every single
You're saying
crime
men on
stat,
average have lower cognitive ability.
in every
By
single
an
crime
overwhelming
stat,
representative
Black
of men.
Americans are overrepresented, AIE.
No, well, you're not
Majorly.
answering my question. You're not answering my question.
What
So
question are you trying to answer?
are men overwhelmingly represented at lower
Yes.
cognitive ability?
Yes. The vast
Well,
majority
then
of men
that's
who are
not-
in
that's
prison
not
have a
proven.
lower.
That's not proven, so you're wrong. Search it up right now.
So do you want a study that talks about the average IQ of criminals?
No, that has nothing to do with male versus
female
IQ.
want to study?
Look, you
Because
keep
across
running away
many
from my
studies,
argument.
incarcerated
Keep
offenders
running, bro.
average roughly 8 to 15 points lower than the general population mean of 100.
So first off, you're not even addressing my point.
So if we have the black population, the average IQ is 85. Do you grant me that? Is that
He's not
true?
even addressing my point at this time, bro. Like, he's not even addressing my point.
AIE, what is the average IQ?
Look, I'll answer you once you address my point.
What is the average IQ of Black Americans?
I'll answer you once you address my point. I promise you I will.
What point, AIE?
Prove to me that males have lower cognitive ability. If you can't, then you can't say that cognitive ability is the number one factor for crime because males have an outstanding, significantly more or higher chance of crime than women. So unless you can prove that males have lower cognitive ability at a high representation, you cannot make that argument that crime is related most to cognitive ability. It just doesn't follow through.
There are more.
It just doesn't follow through.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you my position? There are more men with lower cognitive ability than there are women with lower cognitive ability.
But it's not even close to average. So this is my position. Even if that's true, that would only be a small. That would only be a small population. That would only be a small. Wait. Hold on.
Within the general population is a relatively minor issue.
Hold on. No. Because now you're ignoring the entire fact. Even if it is more men on a lower scale, he is not making the argument that on average men have a lower cognitive ability because on average men commit higher crime. No matter even the lower IQ or non. On average, no matter IQ.
On average, criminals have an 8 to 15 point lower IQ. On average, criminals have an 8 to 15 lower IQ.
You see how you don't want to interact with minds.
Do they not? So that would imply.
Yo, he's getting hooked. He's getting hooked.
So if the average.
He's getting hooked.
So if the average cognitive ability.
He's getting hooked.
Of the criminal is on the lower end of cognitive abilities, and we look at the fact that men are more likely to have a lower cognitive ability on the very end of the bell curve, on the very leftmost side.
We need an average argument. Do you know what average means? Postman versus average. Postman versus average. Please. Postman versus average. Please tell me on average just yes or no? Yes or no? On average, do men have a lower cognitive ability than women by a large margin? Yes or no?
Are you not understanding my point?
No. Regardless of your point,
Does the average man commit crime? Like, does the average
The average man commits crime more than the average woman. No matter IQ, no matter socioeconomic factors.
What is okay? That's because of socioeconomic factors. So whenever we adjust for socioeconomic factors, we find that Black Americans still commit homicide at a higher rate. They are still incarcerated at a higher rate. Why are Black Americans still incarcerated at a higher rate if they have a higher socioeconomic status?
Even when we let me answer your question. Even when we associate a socioeconomic status for men and women, men still on average are higher. So what is your argument? If it's not cognitive either, and it's not socioeconomic, what's your argument? Because even on the same level of households, because there's a woman and a male usually in the same household.
AIE, it is still about cognitive ability. Do you not realize that?
So do you think males have lower cognitive ability on average?
No. I am saying that there are more males in the lower cognitive abilities. This is the 85 to like low 90s.
Answer my question. I'm not asking you that. I'm not asking you that question.
AIE, are you not? Do I need to show you the graph again? Do I really need to show you the graph?
Wait, can you answer my question?
Do I need to show you the graph?
So this is him conceding and not answering my question. Fine. I've asked him 5 times. Literally, all he has to say is yes or no. He doesn't have to show me a graph. I will take his word for it.
Yes.
You think on average, by a large representation, men are cognitively...
Men are overrepresented on both extremes of the IQ bell curve. AIE, what is a bell curve? It goes like this. Do you know what a bell curve is? It goes like this.
All right, I'm out, bro.
So when we
just
look
said
at
it's
the
not race.
side of the bell
You just said it's not race, and you're saying men are
curve,
lower cognitively average than
you are
women.
refusing to it.
So
You are
now
refusing.
think women
You are
are superior.
refusing.
You
You are
think-
refusing.
well,
You are
you think
refusing.
women are
You are
superior.
refusing to talk about racial IQ on a racial IQ
You
stream.
think women are
You
superior.
are refusing.
You think women are superior.
I'm
testing your logic. I'm testing your logic. It has nothing to do with me talking about IQ. I'm testing your logic. The same thing you did with Dean. The same thing you did with Dean Withers for an hour and a half before he cooked your ass.
AI, do you think Black people respect women at a higher rate?
All right, see, now I'm just leaving. He's not even arguing about
Yeah,
the
do you think Black men respect women at a higher rate because they have 2 times more they have a 2 times higher likelihood of falling victim to intimate partner homicide. So if you want to talk about loving and respecting women, Black Americans are overrepresented in murdering their relationship partners. If AIE was winning, why did he leave? Why did he leave? Why did he leave? Why did he leave? He's done that twice now. He ran from the debate. He refused to talk about racial IQ differences, and then he left the debate. He made it about women. I restated my point 5 different times that men are overrepresented on the extremes of IQ, on the lowest extremes of IQ, and are overrepresented on the highest extremes of IQ. Yet he wouldn't engage. He literally wouldn't engage. He stayed on that one point and wouldn't go. He doesn't want me to bring up rape. If you guys have any respect for AIE after this, I don't know what to tell you. He refused to engage with the debate. He refused to engage. He doesn't understand how a bell curve works. He learned what per capita meant 3 days ago. I don't know what to tell you. You see, whenever I had actual prep time and I had sources that supported my position, what sources do you think AIE had coming into this? He had no sources that supported any of his claims. Once I had prep time and I actually got all of my sources, then he ran. I answered his question 7 different times. I answered his question 7 different times. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. that was unironically pathetic. You know, he was really harping on the man and woman thing. I mean,
I answered his question 5 different times.
yeah, I know. And also, I mean, it's a false equivalency, right? Like just because there's a disparity in one group and there's a factor that explains that disparity in that group does not mean if there's a disparity in another group, that means that same factor in group A is going to explain the disparity in group B. That's not how it works, right? There's multiple different factors. There's multiple different genetic factors in men and women that would explain for a crime gap that do not exist between black and white people. For example, think of like the testosterone difference between men and women. Okay, that has a significantly higher reason for why men and women would commit crime.
If you want to come back up here and continue the discussion, I will gladly let you back up.
Also, can you tell him to just stop yelling? I mean, the dude was like, it wouldn't let you make a point. He kept talking over you. But like, you know, just because like group A and group B have a difference in something does not mean that those differences are going to be explained by the exact same factors, right?
I genuinely don't think he understands that.
That's like if there was like a guy who was like 7 feet tall, and like then there was another guy who's like 5 foot tall. Like that's obviously explained by genetics. And then if there's like someone who's like 5'5.5" and then like 5'5" and like a quarter, okay, maybe that could be environment, right? But like obviously these are two completely different scenarios.
I invited him back up. If you want to have a discussion, AIE, come up and have a discussion with me. Come up here and have a discussion. But he won't. Thank you, Doomernat, for your.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, that was just nonsense, dude.
Do you think AIE did any prep for this whatsoever?
No.
Was that the only thing he was willing to talk about?
I think he came up with that in his head. He was like, he probably like Googled like men and women IQ, and he was like, women and men have similar IQ, but men commit more crime. Therefore, IQ cannot make someone commit crime.
And men do have lower, like if you take the average IQ, men do have lower IQs than women. So I don't even know what is.
Well, also think of like the crime disparity between black women and white men, right? Or think, you know what I'm saying? Like
the homicide rates.
Yeah, like I don't understand. This is, you know.
What about crime rates? What about crime rates? AIE, come back up here. AIE, come back up here. AIE, come back up here and have an actual discussion.
Alhamdulillah.
AIE, come back up and let's have an actual discussion. If AIE was destroying me so bad, why did he leave? He was winning the debate. Why did he leave? He was in the lead. If you guys think he was in the lead, why doesn't he come back up here?
Anyways, I'll hop down now, but you know. Just keep in mind, right? You're talking to someone who's probably high, right? He looked high. He has very low impulse control. He's obviously stupid. Just like don't like rage bait. Like don't get all mad. Just like keep calm.
I'm sorry, Doomernat, for getting emotional there, but it was so dumb and so stupid for him to like act like he didn't want to have a debate anymore. 5 minutes into our debate, he was like, "Oh well, I'm just gonna leave."
Anyways, yeah, I'll hop down now.
You want to come back up? Let's go. I'm more than willing to let you back up. I'm looking for your request. Oh, that's the fake AIE. I forgot. Okay. Oh, I let the wrong person up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Not made right. I didn't mean to let you up, man. Sorry.
Hey man, what's up, man? Yeah.
All right. So look, I'll have the debate with you, but I just want to get two things straight because I don't want to yell, and I know you don't.
You want to have the debate now after leaving?
No,
Okay,
well,
yeah, go
well,
ahead.
well,
No,
no,
I'm
no,
more than
look, like
willing.
I'll still even give you the good faith debate, even though like before it's fine. You know what? You're right. Whatever. Um,
Yeah, I
so
know. That's why I'm here.
wait, do you just agree, number one, to not talk over and yell?
Fine.
Can we show this cognitive ability?
Who's your mod that you want in here? Who's your mod that you want in here? Go
Bro,
ahead and invite him.
I just want to like. Can you just mod anybody that wouldn't like say that just doesn't allow people to say that word? It doesn't really matter, bro.
I want you to pick a mod to come into this debate and tell me when to stop talking. I'm more than willing to do that.
Oh, you're talking about a mod for that. Okay, that's different. Well, how about like your actual chat though? Because that also needs to be fixed. You said you would fix it. That was literally your agreement, and you know you did. So don't say you didn't, bro. Like now you're just being disingenuous.
What do you mean I tried to? What do you mean I promised to fix my chat?
You said you promised to have it modded as best as you could. Bro.
Okay. I'll make some mods that will. Hey, anybody saying slurs, AIE that hurts his feelings. So let's not say those. You will be blocked.
Before you're arguing. I don't know why you're like acting like this is crazy. But anyway, right? So first off, I'll explain why I brought up the men versus woman aspect, okay? Because number one, if we're just like the reason for this argument is to find the highest indicator of crime, correct?
Yes.
So if woman versus men's crime indication is at a 70% differential rate compared to a 5 to 0.5% difference when it comes to black people, because only 5 to 0.5% annually commit that crime, and then of total it's only 30%, but that can be explained by mostly by socioeconomic factors. It don't even have to be explained fully. All I have to do is explain mostly. And so yeah, I'll also be arguing on your thing. So can you explain it to me? I need your answer.
Restate your question. I was looking at something. I
said number one, you literally said your premise is cognitive ability, but now you're saying like it's not. But I have a recording of it too, because I had somebody here recording the whole lot. When I first came in, you literally told me your premise was cognitive ability was the highest factor attributing the crime. So I just also searched up on the National Health Census. Men do not have even an overwhelmingly lower cognitive ability compared to women.
Okay.
So wait, but the reason why it matters for average instead of like just the bell curve is because the average male, no matter what IQ he is, has a higher percentage to go to jail versus a woman.
Yes, that is true.
And do you think these are induced by societal roles, or would you just say that men have lower cognitive ability?
I would say that men are overrepresented on both extremes of cognitive ability.
So you think that's the reason? It has nothing to do with the societal role men play which also like
I think that men are more inclined towards violence. I don't know why that's a bad position. There could be many other confounding factors like testosterone levels, like impulse control, risk analysis. There are plenty of other factors that could go into it, but all of those things are going to have G factors embedded into them. So if we look at like risk-taking behavior, lower IQ people are going to have more risk-taking behavior. If we look at income, lower IQ people are going to have lower incomes. Yes.
So you think? Wait. Do you? Okay. Well, two things to that, right? First off,
okay.
Well,
Do you think that men commit more homicide than women? Do you think men commit more homicide than women?
See, look, all right. Now you're just speaking over me. I'm about to leave. Like you just agreed to be, and then you said okay. I was talking, and then you just started speaking over me. Like, why are you doing this, bro? Genuinely, like I was literally about to speak, bro. Okay, so anyway, right? Going back to the fact, what is your greatest chance of proof that the black community, on even a noticeable rate, has low cognitive function?
They have an average IQ of 85, which is an entire standard deviation. That's 15 points from the average white American.
Okay, but show me. Well, like you said before, there's a bunch of G factors that go into it. But show me that they have these G factors by any real world model. I need a real world model of this, because if this is relating to crime rate, it has to be on a real world model.
You need a real world model that stipulates that black people have lower IQs. You really
No, I
think
need
you
a,
really
no,
need
no,
that?
no. The argument is on crime rate, brother. So I need that real world model that stipulates that black people have that off of a genetic basis, black people are committing more crime in America at a disproportional range more than the socioeconomic factors. That's what you have to prove.
So let's say, hypothetically, AIE, we have men. Do men commit more homicide than women?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what types of men commit the
Well, are you
most
going to answer my
homicide?
question? Are you going to answer my question?
What types of men commit the most? What is 55% of homicide?
No, wait. Are you asking for the greatest
Who
indicator
who
for
who
types of men?
who commits most?
Low income men, all
No,
across the board. Yeah.
low income white men do not commit violence at the same rates as high
Well,
as low income black men.
that's not what I'm
That's
asking, or that's not what you're asking though. You're
well,
saying what
you
types
just
of
brought up
men?
economic
Hold on.
factors, and low income
You
white
said,
men
hold on, wait, wait. You
do not commit acts of violence
hold on, but
at
wait.
the same rate.
But wait, you're assuming I have to take the genetic or I mean the racial standpoint. You just asked for what group of men.
I am
No, no,
saying
no,
that there
no.
is a
See,
racial
look,
disparity.
look. You just asked for what group of men should you look for the most when it comes to crime, and by definition, it is low income males, not black males. It is low income males because that it takes into account for the entirety of the U.S.
Okay. So
So it's still not a racial argument.
let's go back to my original study, the Swedish study with a sample size of 700,000 that found the IQ crime link to be stronger than the socioeconomic factors link. It
All
was
right, well,
stronger. That IQ was a better predictor for potential criminality than socioeconomic factors.
and I have one
The study
proving,
proves
I have
it.
one proving the opposite. But hold on, I'm about to prove it. I'm about to pull it up right now. Let me turn on my camera so I can green screen. I actually have 3 of them, so we can just go stat and stat back and forth. I'm glad we can do this because the thing with pseudoscience things like this is there is no confirmed.
You think a study with a sample size of 700,000 with a strict methodology that was it was a longitudinal study over 30 years is pseudoscience?
I guess,
You think
bro.
that's
I
a
guess,
pseudoscience position?
I guess. All right,
That
just
had
bring up,
that had
just bring up your source, and then I'm gonna bring up my source, and then I'll keep doing it. So I have a source actually showing that socioeconomic factors made up more than cognitive ability, and
what study was that?
this was off of Yo. You also dodged him. He made another video on you, and it was the model, and you completely lost that debate. You still had to beat him.
So
The
are
bust
you going to
is
use the
the bust is
Chicago
my
study that was self-reported
Was that the entire model?
criminality?
Was that the entire model? Like, if you want me to present the entire model, which I can do, like he sent me on Discord, I'll bring it up right now in 1 second. But you still have to debunk that because that is proven. That is proven
What is
directly.
the study that you're referencing?
The study that shows
What
that
is the name of the study? What is the name of the study that you were
Okay,
referencing?
so I'm about to go. I'm about to go in the model right now and show, or at least name 3 of the studies, and I'll be right back. Is that fair?
You don't have your studies on hand?
Well, I do. I'm just on my phone because I wasn't planning on debating you because you told me it's not a racial issue. So I agree. But I mean, like I said, if you want, I'll go. If you just get, if
What
you're
is the name? AIE, tell me the name of the study. You don't have the name of your study. I can tell you the name of my study. It is the association between general cognitive ability and violent crime caused by family level co-founders. I'm just saying, I can tell you the name of my study. Okay. Chat AIE. He's got to go on Chat GPT real quick. Okay. We are breathtaking. We are breathtaking. Yeah, he's getting his ChatGPT studies ready so I can debunk them. This is great. Because the funniest part is I know what study he's going to bring up, and it's going to be the Chicago self-reported study on violence. So it was a multi-level analysis of different black communities and their studies. And then if he brings up another study that measures socioeconomic factors, it's not going to measure cognitive ability of parents. It won't, because none of them do. Because none of them do.
all right, so I'll be back. I'm going to name you 8 studies to compete to your 1 study, but the first one I have right here, because this is the thing though, when we get into these debates and you're showing studies.
What is the name?
All
Of
right,
the
so
study?
the first one is it's called the. Right, Neuroscience News, socioeconomic factors leaves deep scars on developing brains. Search that one up first. That just shows how socioeconomic factors just affect you as you get older, number one.
What is the causal relationship between socioeconomic factors and brain development? What AIE? What is the best? What is the
Nutrition,
best?
it would be nutrition.
AIE, which is a better predictor of childhood IQ? Maternal cognitive ability or socioeconomic factors? Answer me that.
I think it's nutrition and maternal
No,
cognitive.
no. Well, then you'd be wrong. Maternal IQ is better than environment.
Even if this is true, related to the crime rate, because that's the argument. I don't know why I keep getting on this IQ debate. I just realized the argument is what? It has nothing to do with the IQ, right?
What is AIE?
No.
What is the average IQ of criminals?
I can see
What is the average IQ of criminals?
I can see there's a gap between IQ. Now show me how it relates to the disproportionate rates that black people are arrested.
Okay. No, I got it. Okay. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
So here's how the relationship starts. We have black Americans.
Yeah.
And white Americans. Right? Do you see those? Do you see black Americans and white Americans? Okay. Yeah. And then we have a third group that would be criminals. Now, criminals, whether they are black or white, have lower IQs on average. Do you agree that criminals have lower IQs on average?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we have a large percentage of the population that is overrepresented in crime, and they just so happen to have lower IQs on average compared to white Americans, that would account for the gap. Do you not see? So we have more low IQ people in the black community. It would make sense that black people are overrepresented in every single crime.
You're saying, okay, so let me give the perfect example. You're saying because these two things are related on a group that is not even proven intrinsically, number one, because you can't tell me that it is proven. It can be highly favored, but it's not proven.
Can you prove to me that socioeconomic status is a better predictor for cognitive for criminality than cognitive ability?
Yeah. So I will. So number one, it is a greatly higher factor. So first we'll do it off the crime. All right. So first we'll do it off the felon rate of black Americans, right?
1/3 of black Americans.
Right, 1/3 of black Americans. That is a crazy outlandish, right? So even if I can get it down more than 20% of a knockoff, that would inherently be majority of that crime, right? What? If I can account 20% of that for socioeconomic factors out of the 30%, that would be majority socioeconomic factors rather than genetics, correct?
So you're trying to say your burden of proof is that 20% of the crime disparity makes up the majority? Are you trying to say that 20% of the crime? Are you trying to say that 20% of the crime disparity is established by socioeconomic
argument, bro? So let me finish, right? Let me just finish. So before the 1980 or before 1982 to be exact, what was the black felon rate?
I don't know off the top of my head. What do you think?
13% to black males in specifics, and you can search this up. 13%. So that, and then if for white males it is 8%. So it's only a 6% gap in jump difference, which is not that high and significant for which would be, I guess, considered for IQ. So let me tell you how the gap for socioeconomics is 20%. If before the war on crime, and it was literally steadily like this for as long as we were actually getting numbers for the black community, it was 13 to lower percentage for the felon rate. No, I'm not finished. After the war on drugs, which we know black people were 16 times more likely to be arrested for drug possession charges, which were considered felonies, than their white counterparts. Wow, it is literally proven that drug usage across America, depending on races, was almost the exact same. So I'll give you the per capita amount if you want for 16x, but unless you don't believe in per capita, then there's a fair and clear distinction of socioeconomic factors playing into black people being arrested at this disparity.
So are you saying that over policing has a causal relationship with crime?
Yes, I mean, well, no, wait.
You have more police in an area.
You didn't let me finish.
More police in an area, people will commit more crime.
No,
does the study you're referencing account for violent crime, or is it just drug possession?
So more police in your area doesn't affect how much crime is being produced, but you would admit that a area that has more police will find more crime than an area with less police, right?
Do you agree that violent crime? Do you agree that violent crime is an?
Answer my question.
Do I agree that if there's
Answer my question?
You know why there's typically more police in an area?
Answer my question.
Do you know why there's typically more police in an area?
Answer my question.
Can you tell me why
Answer
there's
the question.
typically more?
Look, you're dodging. You're just clearly dodging.
Can you
You
tell
can't
me
even
why
answer one
tell me
question
why
for
there
me.
might be more police?
Answer the question. Holy dodge. What I said is a more police community going to find more crimes than a less police community. This is common sense. I mean, your dad's look. I'm not gonna lie. The IQ. No, I'm not even gonna make the ad hominem. Let me stop. Let me chill. But answer the question for me. Who's more likely to find crime? Where more police are that are looking for crime, or where less police are that are looking for crime? Where are you more likely to find crime?
You would find more crime in the area where more crime happens, which is
No,
where
that's not what I asked.
police resources are typically
Please answer my question.
police
Please
resources
answer
are
my
typically
question.
allocated based
Please
on the amount of
answer
crime that happens in a
my
given area.
question.
Why do you think
Answer my question.
AIE, why do you think that a white
Answer my
suburban
question.
area has less
So
police?
wait, explain. Or wait, so even the police resources are administrated on a level that makes sense. Explain why they were 16 times more likely to be in a black population before the 30% felon rate. It was only 13. So even the disparity did not cause for a 16 times more likelihood of them being in their neighborhoods. So you still get to a crime. I mean, you still get to a disparity in how they're treated.
Are you gonna tell me that black Americans weren't overrepresented in crime?
Wait, that has nothing to do with what I just
Are
said.
you going to tell me that black people weren't overrepresented in crime?
That has nothing to do with what I just
prior
said.
to the war on
I said
drugs?
majority of it is socioeconomic factors. You still haven't disproven my argument yet.
Do you want to go into modern socioeconomic factors?
No. I want to talk about what I'm talking about right now because this matters to the felon rate of black people, which you like to bring up 1/3. You still haven't disproven it.
So what is the causal
I
relationship?
already won. I just won, bro. You're not answering my question. If you don't answer my question
You're-
right now,
you're-
you
you're
lose.
proving-
If
you're-
you don't answer this question right now, you lose. Literally. Tell me now, are you going to find more crime where if you're 16 times more likely looking for that crime in that place, or a place where you're 60 times less likely looking for the crime? Where are you going to find more crime?
I would have to see your specific study on that. But
Oh,
so if you have more
okay,
police in an
yeah,
area,
I must study.
if you
And,
have,
I mean,
if
I
you
can
have-
also
if
bring
you
up
have more
ChatGPT
police in
because
an
you do that
area,
as well. But it's a proven fact. Are you denying the war on drugs disparity right now? Is that what you're actually saying?
Okay, so why has criminal rates went
No,
up
no.
after the war on drugs has mostly tapered off? Why has the crime rate went up?
Dodge man, debate
Why
my
has
argument.
the crime
Dodge
rate went
man,
up
debate
after
my
the-
argument. This is low IQ at its finest. Debate my argument. I'm clearly saying.
AIE. If you have a crime and police arrest you for a crime, do you have to commit a crime?
Wait, before that, can you answer my question?
You
I'm
have
not
to
gonna
commit a
answer any of your
crime.
questions
You would
until answer my question.
have to demonstrate to me
So,
that
in
somehow
the
white
fairness- in the
communities
fairness- wait,
were
actually, I might
committing
need to get a
crime,
mob
were committing
because-
violent and drug crimes at the exact same rate as black Americans. You would
might need to
have,
get
for
a
somebody
mob
to
because
get arrested on a drug crime, they
might
need to
get
commit
mob
a
because
crime.
you refuse
Do you think
to-
they were just going around arresting random black people?
You're literally refusing to
Can
argue
you
my
show
point.
the evidence that they were just going around arresting random black people?
Were 16 times percent more likely to be arrested for drug crimes, even though drug usage was the same around all races.
Drug usage was the same for black Americans. Black Americans aren't overrepresented in substance abuse. Are you really going to tell me that black people aren't overrepresented in substance abuse?
Show me any stat. No, they're not. Search it up right now. Actually, search it up. They're not.
Black people aren't overrepresented in crack and drug use.
No, it's actually a similar rates for all for all people. But anyway, like I said before, since you've already lost and you like I said before, right? Where are you going to find more crime? Answer the question. Postman versus finding more crime.
So you've
Postman
changed.
versus
You've changed your position that socioeconomics.
You don't understand.
You've changed your position that socioeconomic factors make up the majority of this disparity. Do you confer that modern crime is mostly caused by socioeconomic factors?
Dodge man concession. Dodge. Oh, you're also just admitting you don't understand per capita because if you're looking at these stats and per capita, black people are 16 times more likely. Wait, so then you can't look at per capita black people being more likely to commit crimes as a valid argument if you're looking at black people per capita being falsely arrested and also being arrested at a higher rate, even though the usage is the same, and you're saying that doesn't matter. So then I don't care about the per capita for black people being more violent. That doesn't matter. Either doesn't matter.
You don't care about black people being more violent? Okay,
it doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care. I'm
so
just
why do black men make up 26%?
Has been debunked by Postman himself.
Of all rape. What is the socioeconomic explanation?
Congratulations.
What didn't
even need to do it. You have debunked.
explanation?
You have debunked per capita yourself. The black community did not need to do it. Thank you.
What is the average what is the socioeconomic connection between black rape? Are you telling me that in 19 are you telling me that in 1970 black Americans, what was the effect of black Americans being arrested more in 1970? How does that transfer to today? Would you say it had a socioeconomic effect?
Look, I actually see how I'll answer your question and still destroy you. I don't have to prove that the 13 compared to the 8 with white males is that is also socioeconomic, because I compare. I wait. You want to know why? Because I already.
So you're not. What was the effect? What was the effect of black men being arrested?
Finish. Look, I'm answering your question and you still won't let me finish. That's how you know you're scared. Anyway, the reason why I don't have to confirm that is because the argument is what has a higher percentage. And if you're talking about the 1/3 of black felon rates, 20% is way higher than a 6% average difference. I'm sorry to tell you. So when socioeconomic factors accounted for the 20%, which you still didn't argue against, because before
socioeconomic factors accounted for 20% of the black-white crime rate. Crime gap. Did socioeconomic factors account for 20% of the black-white crime gap? Is that your position?
For the felony gap, right? So if it's for the felony gap inherently, right? Yes. I mean, the felony gap, because it was 30%.
So 33% of black men are felons. Do you confirm that?
Yes, I don't have to deny
it. So you don't argue that. Why do you think that is?
Well, I just told you.
Why do you think that is today?
Wait, guys, well,
not 1970, today. Why do you think that is today?
Postman, do you have a grandfather?
AIE.
Wait, no. This matters because you're asking about today, but the vast majority of that percentage of today comes from then. So it doesn't matter. They're still alive. Postman, do you think people born in the 1970s just died as soon as 2020 hit? Are you idiotic?
Black criminals had a much higher rate of mortality than the homicide.
Do you think they died? Do you think they all just died off after they got their felony?
I think a lot of black felons have died off.
No, absolutely, that's not true, because even the
so you don't think a massive overrepresentation of homicide deaths will lower that percentage of felons?
Actually, it doesn't matter to the argument. So even if I say yes, which I can, it doesn't matter to my argument. But
if the youth mortality of black men is 2 times higher than that of white men, you don't think that'll have an effect on felonies?
Out of all of the convicted felons,
you don't
guess what percentage of those convicted felons actually go into repeat a crime after they were convicted of a felony? How many of them?
If we take modern arrest stats, are black people overrepresented? Arrest stats.
Yes, perfect. And that's an argument in favor of black people.
That is not an argument in favor of black people.
You want to know why? Because per capita, black people are 2 times more likely to be arrested for violent crime than they be. Are black men and women nothing to do with convictions?
Are black men and women overrepresented in homicide and violent crime victimization? Just answer me that.
And victimization, they can be, but that still doesn't matter to me.
They are.
All right, so
do you think AIA, do you think that there are raving bands of white people coming into black communities and killing them? Or do you think that 95% of crime is interracial? Intraracial.
It's obviously been proven, but wrap it around the IQ and race.
Okay. So what is the average IQ of black people, AIA?
I don't know. Whatever. Like literally, it does not matter to the argument.
It is 85.
Okay. Now show me how IQ led to these arrests.
So does IQ positively correlate with income?
It can, and that has nothing to do with arrests.
It does.
So you would still be arguing with socioeconomic factors if you're bringing up income. It doesn't matter.
I am bringing up income, and whenever we adjust for IQ, the income between black and white people, the disparity disappears.
Whenever we adjust for IQ,
the gap between black and white people in terms of future projected income goes down. Correct?
Okay. Oh wait, you said it disappears. First off, is your argument? Okay. Well, I'll explain how that's different. Well, it can't be used the same for crime rate. Let me explain, because that's what you're proposing, right? Let me tell you why it can't be used the same for crime rate. Because crime rate has individual factors of unfair exclusion.
What is the individual socioeconomic factors that affect this? What is the individual socioeconomic factors? I want to know all of them.
So first off, I told you before, the 20% of the entire black felon rate is explained by socioeconomic factors. Okay. The war on drugs. You still haven't denied that.
So tell me how socioeconomic factors cause them to commit crimes. Tell me.
No, well, so the thing is, it doesn't have to about causing them to commit
AIE,
crime.
AIE, AIE.
No, wait. It's
Tell
not
me,
about them
tell
committing the
me the
crime.
socioeconomic factors.
It's not about them committing the crime. You would agree that it's about the disparity in the crime.
AIE, tell me the socioeconomic factors that make people commit crime.
Wait. It's not about committing the crime. It's about the disparity in crime rate, right? That is the debate, right?
AIE, tell me the socioeconomic factors that there is a
It's not
difference
relevant
between
to
black
the
and white
disparity
people.
in crime rate. That's what I'm arguing. The disparity in crime rate is by socioeconomic factors. That is my entire
That's
argument.
what you're arguing. What are those socioeconomic factors?
So wait. Can you agree that
What
we're
are
arguing about the
AIE,
disparity in crime rate?
AIE, this is a very simple question. What are the socioeconomic factors that lead black people to commit more crime?
Yo, like you just getting cooked, bro. Like I don't even want to waste my mouth.
AIE,
Like
answer the question. What are the socioeconomic factors that cause black people to commit more crimes? Like, give me an example. of them.
Wait. So
Do you
I'll
think-
tell you again.
Do you think socioeconomic? Do you think that socioeconomic status is just like a floating number that we can apply to anything?
I think it's over policing, number one, which I already accounted for 20% of the black population being overrepresented by that much for that reason. Because
Okay, do you believe that higher socioeconomic status black neighborhoods have higher homicide rates?
Before this, I've answered 5 questions. So if you don't answer one of my questions, everybody in here clip this. He's literally dodging. I just answered 4 questions in a row. He has to answer this one question for me. Can you do this for me, Postman? Can you? And I just need the question answered. Just answer the question for me, Postman. Okay?
Go ahead.
Can you give me any source? It's a yes or no answer to prove that the racial disparity inherently not as an indicator, because indicator doesn't mean that it is the actual effect. Indicator just means that
You want me to give you a source that says 100% of the black-white crime disparity is because of cognitive factors?
Wait.
That's not my position.
My man just wait.
That's not my position. That has never been my position.
Okay, wait. No. But you said it's not largely socioeconomic factors.
I said that the black-white crime gap is not explained by socioeconomic factors because when we
it's not explained at all?
When we adjust for socioeconomic status, do black people still have higher incarceration rates? Tell me that.
Well, it depends, because if you look on a global scale, no.
Just tell me. No.
If you look on a global scale, no. But if you look on specifically the African American race, and you're talking about economic, which is not. Wait. Can you answer a question for me? Socioeconomic factors. Does factors mean one factor or two? Or multiple factors?
It means
so
multiple.
You only just doing economic does not even address all socioeconomic factors.
So what other
That's
socioeconomic
still
factors are we
disambiguous.
talking about?
Okay, great. I have a whole picture of it just because niggas always ask me of this. And there's more that go into it than what I'm even about to put up as well. But
We gotta axe ChatGPT real quick. We gotta axe ChatGPT real quick. Let me axe ChatGPT.
But poverty is one of many things.
Okay,
Right.
family instability, exposure to
agree
violence,
all of these-
underfunded schools.
Do you agree all
Okay.
of these go under socioeconomic factors? Yes or no?
Yes.
So if you can give me a study that at least even covers half of these
Okay.
and shows that on a racial basis by a large disproportionate amount of crime.
Do you
Black
not think that socioeconomic status accounts for that in these studies? Do you not think they account for those factors? They only go based on income? You think they only go based on income?
But that was for individual IQ versus.
No, I gave you studies that talked about socioeconomic status, which
Yeah.
which combines all of those factors together.
Was it
And I
for
showed you,
individual IQ
I
or
showed you that whenever we had those socioeconomic factors, the black-white crime disparity, especially in homicide, does not go down.
I agree, but
Which in those socioeconomic status,
So wait, hold
I
on.
showed you studies
You're just not
that
answering my question.
demonstrated that given all of those factors, the gap does not disappear.
You're just not answering my question. So what are the factors they labeled that went down and then made the crime rate go up? What were the factors that went down and that they restricted? Like, you have to show me this. You have to prove it. Prove me your source. Put it behind you like I've been doing. Please, right now. So, because it seemed to me that you only said economics earlier, which is not all of socioeconomic factors. And then also, you still haven't literally combated my argument against
I understand, but
20%
again,
of the
you're
felony.
literally
20% of the felony rate coming from socioeconomic factors would inherently show a actual, which would show that there's systemic oppression against black people.
What are you trying to? I'm like genuinely confused what you're trying to say right now.
Does systemic oppression against black people exist? Yes or no?
Okay. What is the causal relationship
No,
between
just
systemic
look,
what is the causal
no, you
relationship between
cannot answer
systemic
a question.
what is the causal relationship between systemic oppression
cannot
and
answer a
making you murder
question.
people?
You cannot answer a question, Postman. Postman, answer the most simplest question. Does systemic oppression exist? Yes or no?
Has systemic oppression exist before? Yes.
No, that see, look, you I'm leaving.
What
This
what
is the
what,
time
what,
you dodged my
what
questions.
name one piece of systemic oppression that exists right now in laws in America.
Bro, Castanet, bro. Stop with the ads, my nigga. Like, just tell me, like, answer my question, bro. You frying me right?
What
Yo,
systemic
Postman.
systemic racism remains in black communities
Is
today?
IQ inheritable?
Yes.
Largely. So would you say that you have a large percent chance of having a low cognitive ability based off your dad's record of being a repeat offender, which you literally correlate to low IQ? Would you agree?
Tracking based on maternal verbal ability and
So, yeah, you
maternal
have
IQ,
high
which is a better predictor for
Okay,
future
so I mean,
predictive
all right,
IQ.
so as long
Are we
as
gonna
you agree
make
that-
this personal about my dad?
Well, no, we make it personal because your worldview. Well, no, it's not about your dad; it's about your worldview. See, it's only wrong because your worldview says that.
Yes,
I don't think that.
I would
don't
have
say
a
that.
lower chance of having a lower cognitive ability. I'm more
So
than
you're
willing to
mad at
accept
yourself
that.
because I'm using your worldview. I don't say that. I don't think that you personally have a higher chance
No,
of being
that
a
would-
lower
no,
cognitive
I
being
agree
because
with
of your
you.
dad.
That would be true.
But that would be
true.
All right. So then, wait. First off, can you, before anybody says anything, can you first off admit that wasn't an ad hominem and I wasn't attacking you because that's your worldview. I wasn't attacking you or your dad. That's your worldview. I don't think that.
I would say it's pretty low to bring up my dad's criminal record in this
It's
debate.
not.
So,
Yeah, it's not when you
and, I,
bring
and
up
I'm and I'm
criminal
holding
records
back
as
some
the
stuff.
average.
So whenever we adjust for IQ in any of these studies that adjust for socioeconomic status, whenever IQ is brought into the fold, it completely dominates in predictors. Okay, here's a source that says black-white arrest and incarceration gap goes away after accounting for IQ and self-report violence. Do you want to see that source?
It says black incarceration rate. Well, I mean, I don't have to argue against that because that's not the incarceration rate is 0.5. I mean, 5% to 0.5. So that's not a trait that the black community shares. That's a trait that only maybe black criminals share, but that doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with the race. It's just about the criminality in itself.
I'm saying once we adjust for IQ, the incarceration gap goes away.
You said once we adjust for first off, just because you say that does not mean that it's true on a global or on a real world model. You still have to prove it on a real world model.
AIE, what is a group? Is it a series of individuals?
I asked you to prove it on a real world model. You're still not answering my questions. Prove it on the American. Well, that's what we're trying to even figure out in the entire debate. Is to literally prove if IQ is the inherent thing that's causing these black people to commit more crimes at this high disparity. So you have to prove it on the real world model, which is American.
I'm telling you, this was a longitudinal study. I can't pronounce it, but it is a longitudinal study that the black-white IQ gap was set to near zero after we accounted for IQ.
Well, first off, that's not a fact, right? It's not a fact. And off of that alone, we have actual proven studies that I can give you that shows that socioeconomic factors literally go into crime rate, especially for black Americans, at a exceptionally high rate. So, all right, let me bring it up for you. If you want the stats, we can just go stat for stat now because I'm not even going to I've been destroying you in the verbal argument.
So how does
let's just go stat for stat.
How does over policing correlate with?
Look, now you're trying to completely.
Because you gave me you said that over policing. You said that over policing was a socioeconomic factor, and then you showed your little thing of socioeconomic factors, and over policing. Why wasn't it?
The stat I was going to bring up was showing that socioeconomic factors had a large hand.
Does that study measure IQ? Does that study measure IQ?
Even if it does or doesn't, it does not take away from the fact that
if it doesn't, it's not a good study.
Well, okay,
if it doesn't, it's not a good study. If it does not measure maternal and paternal cognitive ability.
So is your IQ your main, or cognitive ability your main factor for crime? Is what you're saying? It's almost completely gone with anything else. Then you will be saying that men have a higher a higher likelihood of having lower cognitive ability than women, and that's proven
Men,
false. I can
no,
give you
it's
a
not
proof
proven
of
false. Men are overrepresented in extremes of low IQ. Why are we back to this?
Everybody search up in the
Why are
chat
we
right
back to
now who
this?
thinks men average have a
I've already
disproportionate
established that. I've
cognitive
already
ability
established that.
to women. It's going to say no matter what source. Like, guys, search it up, and
So
if you want, I'll bring it.
your argument is that the main cause is socioeconomic factors. The
Well,
primary socioeconomic factor that you listed was over policing,
actually,
which
I'm
is
about to
not a
end, bro. I
socioeconomic
gotta go,
factor.
my girl. Like, you literally have lost,
Which
bro.
is not
Bye.
which is not a socioeconomic
I'm
factor.
wasting my
The
time.
primary reason that you gave me 16 I asked him to give me one socioeconomic factor. He showed socioeconomic factors, and over policing wasn't on there. Why does he keep rage quitting? I just asked him what a socioeconomic factor is. That's all I did. I just asked him what a socioeconomic factor was, and he couldn't answer. He had to pull up a Google image of what a socioeconomic factor is. Yes, and his primary socioeconomic factors. I don't know why he left. Why would he leave? Why would he leave? Why does he keep leaving? I don't get why he keeps leaving. All I was asking him is what if over policing is a socioeconomic factor, and it's not. That's all I asked him. I actually learned what a socioeconomic factor was yesterday. I mean, if he doesn't want to come in here, then I'll take that as a concession. If he doesn't want to continue the debate, then I can take that. He didn't give me one study, and on those studies, he couldn't tell me if those studies measured cognitive abilities. He couldn't, because if he did, he would find that cognitive abilities were the dominant predictor in future predicted criminality when compared to socioeconomic status. He would know, and that's why he won't come back, because he's looking. Just doesn't make any sense. Over policing is not a socioeconomic factor. It just isn't. It's a community factor. It's a neighborhood factor, but it is not a socioeconomic factor. It wasn't on his little list. He's got to ask ChatGPT. On his graph that he showed that listed socioeconomic factors, was over policing on it? Was it? On his list, why won't he debate me? Over policing is not a socioeconomic factor, and you can't establish a I mean, I had more information, I had more studies, but I guess he doesn't want to hear it. So he had one study, but he couldn't tell me anything about his study. Like, I asked him like a cursory question about whether his study measured cognitive ability, and he couldn't answer. He literally couldn't. If you were over-policed, wouldn't that mean you commit less crime? Like, you would try to commit less crime if you knew that police were more likely to arrest you? Wouldn't that be the causal relationship? Like, if there's police, I would say if you commit a crime with a police officer right next to you, that's more indicative of a cognitive disparity rather than the police being there so you commit the crime. I would say if you commit a crime knowing that there's more police in your neighborhood, that's more indicative of a cognitive failure on your part rather than oh my gosh, that was just I mean, he keeps rage quitting. He keeps rage quitting. I don't know why he keeps rage quitting. I mean, I'll wait in here and see if he can come back. But it doesn't seem like he wants to debate me. He keeps rage quitting. There is no monthly quota system for arrest. That's just not true. That's just not true. And even if it was, they still have to arrest you. He knows better. He just keeps leaving. I can't debate somebody that just keeps leaving. How am I supposed to debate somebody that just keeps leaving and won't listen to any of my sources? Like I literally gave him a source that said that general cognitive ability was a better predictor for violent crime than socioeconomic factors. I literally gave him that study, and he just moved on. I'm sure he made a video about me. Why doesn't he just join and debate me? Why doesn't he just join and debate me instead of making videos? If he wants to make videos about me, why doesn't he just come and debate me? I asked him to give me one socioeconomic factor, and he genuinely had to Google it. Like, he genuinely had to find some random TikTok infographic when I asked him to list just one socioeconomic factor. Just one. He couldn't even say poverty. Just one socioeconomic factor. He couldn't even name one. Poverty drives crime? So if poverty drives crime, why do we have sources? Why do we have sources that prove? Look at this graph. So this is a multi-variable analysis. So this is on the left here, this is property crime, and on the right here, this is violent crime. Then we have job programs, recessions, and transfers, like money transfers, job programs for incarcerated people and low-income people. And what we found is on, 20 different studies that had a significant effect when it comes to property crime, but whenever it comes to violent crime, there is almost no change. There is almost no percentage decrease. That's what we found. So poverty does not cause violent crime. It causes certain property crimes like theft, but it does not cause violent crime. We have a multi-variable of studies. You can independently go check all of these studies that proves that poverty is not the prime driver of crime. Of violent crime specifically. What's this source? Do you want me to independently explain every single one of the studies and how they contribute? I wasn't mad at AIE for searching stuff up, but I had sources on hand on a Google Doc that I could reference. He did not. Dodge source questions? Okay, look up, does nothing stop a bullet like a job? The effects of income on crime. Look that up. It is a meta-analysis of like 20 different studies. And it shows that there is barely a decrease or increase of violent crime based on job programs, recessions, and money transfers. It is sourced from Friedman and Owens, Carr and Coppa, Kostopoulos, et al. Mueller, Smith, Reeves, Chenaup, and Walker. Yang, this is from the University of Chicago, Becker Friedman Institute for Economics. The debate didn't finish because he left. The debate didn't finish because he left. If he comes back, I will gladly debate with him. Why are random people asking to debate me as if I care? Same time tomorrow. Okay. Well, it doesn't appear that AIE is going to come back. It doesn't appear that AIE is going to come back. And just real
together we are. TikTok work best.
And real quick, wait, let me find it real quick. Just so you guys have more context, this was the original prompt that AIE agreed to. He said, does socioeconomic factors, he agreed to this prompt, do socioeconomic factors completely account for the black-white gap? That was the original prompt. Last second, he changes it. He changes that prompt in the final 5 minutes before, like the final 30 minutes before we start. So I have to completely change all of my sources. Like in the last 5 seconds, I have to completely change all of my sources because he just didn't want to do that prompt anymore. And that was the only way that I was going to get him up here. So I took a harder position just for the sake of trying to get him to join. So he wouldn't join unless I took a more difficult position to defend that cognitive abilities make up the entirety of the black-white gap. He literally wouldn't join. He wanted me to claim that there was some sort of special gene that makes black people commit more crime. That's what he wanted me to do. And now he won't join back. So he makes me change. So AIE makes me change. AIE makes me change the original prompt. The original prompt that we agreed to, which I posted on my story and he was fine with. He makes me change that. Wait, I'll pull it up right now. Okay, do socioeconomic factors completely account for the black-white crime gap? That was our original prompt.
Nut on my head, nut on my nose, nut in my mouth, crunch, crunch. Oh.
This was the original prompt that I posted on my story and he agreed to. In the very last second of this debate, he refused to account for it. He actually said several times that socioeconomic factors only account for 20% of the gap. He said that like 3 different times. He left 4 times during the debate to go ask ChatGPT something. And people have the audacity to say, goodness gracious, dude. That was worse than our first debate. That was worse than our first debate. Much worse. Okay.